you'll want to be cautious of is somebody who can only use physical barrier sunscreen like titanium dioxide or zinc oxide. They can use the Solar Shade, which is in the sensitive line.
That one's pure physical?
That one's pure physical.
As well as the facial.
Yep, SPF 40 facial moisturizer is also all physical sunscreen.
What's the one ingredient in the oil-free that makes it the chemical?
It's the, is it octinoxate that's in there? I think it's octinoxate. And octisalate is in there too. So these SPFs, if somebody is concerned about a chemical sunscreen, those are very, very stable, well-researched chemical sunscreens. So we only use ingredients that have been really well researched and they have been proven stable in that specific formula. So what stable means is, you know, you hear about like free radicals and you want to use antioxidants to combat free radicals. So basically that is an atom with one electron that's looking for either another one to complete it or looking to give one off. So what that does is cause this domino effect of damaging skin cells because you have this one crazy electron that doesn't know what to do, and it can cause this domino effect. So if you have antioxidants, that's going to give that either the electron that it needs or grab it to take it somewhere else. Some of them do isolate, like some really innovative, I think we have one called Spin Trap that'll isolate it so that you don't have that electron just running crazy, causing cellular damage. And that's why antioxidants are so important, because you really need to normalize your skin cells so that you don't have that damage. So yeah, that's what I mean by stable, a stable formula, is you don't have anything that's going to cause free radical harm like that. Yeah. And it remains stable in the product, so the product keeps its integrity as well. So we just went through oily, and now we're going to go through combination. Well, we kind of talked about what you could use for combination. So we have hydrating gel cleanser that can be used for combination, as it says. What else can you use hydrating gel cleanser for? What skin type? If it's going to be hydrating somebody who's dry. And you can use purifying gel cleanser for somebody who's combination too, right? Yeah, sure. If they need that exfoliation, they want a little bit of oil control in their T-zone, absolutely. Yeah. Hydrating really is going to be for somebody who has some pretty good dryness, but they still want a gel cleanser. They still want to feel really clean, but they're either dry or they're combo, so they have some drier cheeks. Can they use both? Yeah, heck yeah. They can use that with essential cleansing oil. They can use this in addition to purifying gel. So really the only skin type that you wouldn't use hydrating with is going to be oily. You're truly oily or you're acneic. They're just not going to get the benefits out of it.
There's a lot of people around here that the reason why they have this skin type is because they're not doing things correctly. But they're combination, dry, and they break out. My first thing is, well, let's get you into a good cleanser. You have to use a toner, and probably let's start with an oil-free something because you're breaking out, and then get all that doing what it needs to do. Would that make somebody who's concerned, they're like, I'm dry, but I break out sometimes, would that cause more breakout? Would it be too thick or too heavy for somebody like that?
Probably not. But they're not going to get as good of a result as they would with the purifying. Because the salicylic in the purifying and the yucca, they're going to be anti-inflammatory, so they're going to still help to rebalance that skin. Even though the skin is compromised, it's still going to work to rebalance it, so it's still not going to be a harsh, stripping cleanser. None of ours are going to be. So if somebody is dry and broken out, I would start them on purifying. If somebody is combo, no breakouts, hydrating. But you just, I mean, if you have a little bit of breakout activity, you can get a lot done with just the purifying gel cleanser. So you're already introducing that. And then you're also prepping the skin for the toner, which is then prepping the skin for your next step. So you're still going to help to balance that. I would start there. I would just be afraid that it might be too hydrating for them initially.
That's what I've, for the most part, done. I just know there are so many people coming around, saying, I break out, and I'm dry
You
and
ask them about
flaky right
their
here, and
skin,
you're
then
like,
they're like,
Oh.
I'm combination, but then I'm really oily and kind of dry.
and I have some dry spots, and I'm like,
I'm like,
so,
oh.
my first thought is, okay, so you're using soap at home.
Yeah,
on your skin,
yeah.
aren't you? You're using soap and water. Well, yeah, you don't use toner or moisturizer, do you? Well, no, because that's going to make me break out more. And I'm like, okay, so we're going to be a 3-step program.
Yeah.
And I promise just with that, you're going to see all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
If you're still having problem with breakout after that, then come back.
And then we can start to target that.
Hydrating, I wasn't sure about.
Yeah.
I typically go for the purifying, but I was just like not happy candles.
What eye makeup remover did you use last night?
I didn't.
I don't use one either. I
was
just
gonna say,
use
I'm one of
cleanser.
those that doesn't own an eye
Mhm.
makeup remover, but don't tell people that.
Yeah, I don't either. It's really bad. Okay, so we already talked about this, that you can also use purifying gel cleanser for combination skin. And you were saying that I would say we would come back to this, but I feel like I would forget. You have somebody who comes in and they say, I'm combination, but I'm also oily and I'm also dry. You can target that in your add-ons with your masks or in your targeted treatments, because people can use different masks on their nose and then a different one on their cheeks and even a different one on their forehead. So you can really do that in that area if somebody really has those concerns like this, and this, but really start to work with them to balance their skin first, calm it down, really get to the bottom of what their skin type actually is, because so many people don't even know their skin type because they're using the wrong products and they're like,
That's
I don't
what I
know,
figure
because my
when they
skin
say
just
that,
always
I'm
freaks
like,
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get them started, when do you get oily in the day?
Yeah.
So you kind of know what cleanser, moisturizer. You can kind of ask them questions like that to get to the bottom of it. But usually there's a little bit more going on. So
Can you talk about that, asking them when do they get oily? Because a lot of people will come in and they don't know if
Mhm.
they're dry or oily. They can't even narrow it down to like that.
Mhm.
Do you get oily throughout the day? Well, I don't know. And I think one of the biggest things, like the first question I ask somebody who's like, I don't know what I am.
Mhm.
Okay, so about what time, you wash your face first thing in the morning in the shower, whatever, about what time throughout the day are you kind of, feeling a little bit
shiny and
that
sticky.
kind of thing.
Mhm.
And that really helps to help me put it somewhere.
Yeah.
But how do you typically, I know how I do it, but how do you typically categorize that, like 11 o'clock versus like, 4 o'clock, I start
Yeah.
getting shiny.
Yeah, okay, so if somebody says I wash my face and and everybody is going to be so dramatic about this too, by the way.
Five minutes.
Right when I put my foundation on, I'm dripping with oil, and you're like, okay, well, why are you putting olive oil on your skin? So they will be super dramatic. So really kind of take that into consideration too when you're trying to discover in your discovery process. So if somebody says, I just feel like right after I'm shiny, I'm already needing a powder. Before I go into work, I'm already needing to put powder on. Another big thing is, how matte do they want their skin? Like, are they just getting that normal glow? If somebody comes in and they like,
to be like dull.
yeah, right. So that might be another question for them too, is what does oily mean to you? Do you like to have a glow? Or do you feel like are you blotting oil on tissue or on your hands even? Like sometimes if you're in a bind, you're just like, meh, meh, I'm oily. So I'm like, meh, meh. I know that's disgusting, but don't tell anybody. Take me off
So
camera.
if they're like, I don't typically, it doesn't really bother me. I don't think that I get oily until, I guess, maybe later in the day.
Mhm.
Maybe I get that answer sometimes. Would you categorize that more as you're probably
Yeah.
without the flaky as opposed to the other extreme of oily.
Right. Yeah, because are they dry or are they dehydrated? If they're dehydrated, they're probably going to be flaky, whether they're oily or dry. If they're dehydrated, they're going to be flaky. So yeah, if somebody says, well, not really till the end of the day do I notice a little bit of shine, they're probably just a little bit normal. But in your discovery, you've also found out that they're not using the right products. So they're not using anything at home to help with that. If they're just using like bar soap and water and disrupting that barrier every day, they're probably extremely dehydrated, first of all. So they're overproducing oil. So really, I think it's going to start with, what are you using at home? Always. If Morgan hasn't seen their skin specifically in the mag lamp to see what's going on, and they just come in and you're talking to them, I'm assuming this happens, that you just have people up here looking at skincare, and yeah, and nobody has even looked at their skin to really know what's going on. Start with what they're using, and then go from there. So if you know that they're using, well, I'm using a pretty good cleanser actually and a moisturizer, so they're doing kind of all the things right at home, but they're still getting oily really early in the morning or midday, then they're going to be oily combo. If they're getting shiny later in the day, then they're probably normal, maybe a little bit dry. They're not producing enough oil to really help their skin during the day and protect their skin during the day. So there is a couple things that go into that. But
I guess what I was kind of hoping to go over a little bit with you guys as well is that, like, kind of where we're going with that, that's where I was hoping between you and Morgan, if you could help us out, like, let's say we have a client who's coming in, exact same thing. What would, if they're dry, oily, coming in with flaky skin about, let's say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, what combination of products would you recommend for them?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So that would be something that I kind of...
Yep. So we're going to go through all of these skin types and concerns so that we can select, after we've talked to these clients, so we'll have discussions around each of these. In the next couple minutes, we'll start so that we can have like a good hour to do that. We can have conversations around each of these and what you would recommend for that person and why, so that you know if that person comes in and, oh, I remember if somebody's oily, that they're going to want this. So...
Some of them are going to have to leave in about 30 minutes.
Okay.
But that's definitely something I wanted
Okay,
to make
yeah,
sure.
let's go through that then. So we kind of have the gist of, there's a cleanser, a toner, a moisturizer, SPF for each skin type, right? So I don't think we really have to go through every single product, because I think we can cover it on here. And if everybody, are you kind of familiar with the products up there and what
I think
you're
everybody's
hearing?
pretty familiar. If not, we have Chris, who's really familiar. But I think we
Okay.
can create a binder that's very similar to that. That might be something that we can pull out for if we're having specific questions, and kind of combine that onto maybe
Why don't we
some
get
sort of
everybody
sheet.
a brochure so that they can have the list of products if we're going through this and be like, that would be a good, that would, because I know some people don't know like the exact,
Let me
I know
I have
exactly
something.
what cleansers we have.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I'm so dry.
I'm looking for something, I used to have it and it smoothed my hair and it's for when I straighten it and I'm like,
I don't even know if I have therapeutics in here.
I have no idea what those are. Like, I think it might be Dialog and I'm like pulling all the things, like reading the back going, I don't know. Nobody was available. I can't.
And I think the one thing that we would probably, that you both have been saying is a necessity, is a toner. So trying to explain that better to our clients is sometimes hard, because a lot of our clients have been taught that toners are no longer necessary, is one thing we get a lot. And
That's
trying to
when they
explain
kind
to
of
them.
we lose their interest because they feel like all we're trying to do is sell.
Right.
Right.
We're not really listening to them. So once you throw that toner out there, they're like,
Right.
and then I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
fun. Enjoy your skin.
And-
I don't know what to do.
I know. Well, unfortunately, there have been products in the industry that really have, really, really given toners a bad rap. So a lot of those are like feel-good toners, I like to call them. They're not really doing anything. So we kind of